It's been a minute since I've actually recorded anything like for YouTube, but today I decided to talk about why being nonchalant makes no sense. Now, for a lot of people, this may sound confusing, right? Because I think a lot of young men in particular, or maybe like even women as well, I don't know, but a lot of people are told like in order to attract people either romantically or like friends, you gotta play like hard to get and nonchalant. And I don't really think that's the case, right? For me personally, and I think for most people, they want an emotionally available partner, right? And so I'm a firm believer in the fact that you attract what you are. And so if you're kind of putting on a front that's very cold and very, not open to showing your true self, you're obviously going to attract people that are doing the same thing. They're not comfortable in their own skin. You're going to be attracting people that are probably not emotionally available. And then you wonder why nothing's working out for you, right? And so I think by analyzing that you attract what you are, you should be more comfortable being your authentic self. Because if you are your authentic self, you are attracting people that are also going to be their authentic self, and you're going to find connections with people whose authentic self kind of is compatible with yours and matches with yours very well. That's my first point. And my second point is a lot of people, they may be their authentic self to someone at some point, or maybe multiple people, and they have like this kind of concept where you touch the stove and you burn your hand because it's hot, and so they're like, you know what, that's hurt me in the past, I'm not going to do it anymore. But I think in doing that, you do a disservice to how you're raised. You do a disservice to the life lessons you learned from your parents, grandparents, best friends, maybe past relationships, etc. And you kind of do a disservice to the creator above, because he made you special. He made you exactly how you're supposed to be, and you're trying to hold it in. And I think that makes no sense, personally. For me, I mean, if you know me, like as a close friend, I'll be like dancing, singing, whistling in the gym. I'll be like jumping up and down. I don't give a fuck, personally. And that's just me. And I'm not saying you have to like gloat and flaunt all your wins and stuff. I think that's even more insecure than not showing anything at all. But what I'm saying is, you should feel free to express yourself. You should feel free to just let yourself be a child again, right? When you were a child, did you care about being nonchalant when you played with like Transformers, trains, dinosaurs, I don't know, anything like that? No, right? And I feel like as you get older, you kind of see these things as like childish and weird, and so you kind of fade away from acting like a child. And there definitely are situations where you do need to be mature, respectful, classy, whatever. But I think some people take it a little overboard, and they're scared to allow their inner child to flow in the real world. And that's how you sometimes will miss on like really good connections, and oftentimes you want to be perceived by people in a certain way. And what you fail to realize is that in trying to please everyone else by appearing nonchalant and like not appearing weird or whatever, you may be indifferent with people. People may just accept you and just greet you every once in a while, but I don't think you necessarily are going to make any really meaningful connections, because when you get the opportunity, you push it right away. And so I think you have to open your authentic self up in order to meet a more meaningful connection, right? Because if you don't, if you never do, what happens, right? You are going to be hanging out with someone frequently or dating someone frequently, and you're going to keep this image of yourself up. And are you going to marry this person being someone that you're not? Are you going to stay friends with this person, meet their wife, go to their marriage? Are you going to do that being someone you're not, right? That makes no sense to me. Because here's the other thing. Once you start being yourself and kind of removing this nonchalantness, you're going to find that your circle is going to get smaller but more meaningful. Now, when you're nonchalant, you're obviously only going to show people your politest self, maybe, or only your shallow self that's maybe tolerable, if you will. but I don't think you're really gonna find your people if you don't really open up, right? And when you do open up, some people may see that as, not for me or weird, whatever you want to call it. And that's very natural, obviously. You're obviously going to lose people that you were your fake self with when you become real. That's just what comes with it. And it makes sense because these people are associated with you for your fake self. So when you start acting more authentic, it doesn't align with their authentic self, beliefs, values, etc., right? But then what you'll realize is that you will narrow down on people that will accept your natural self, right? Just personal example for me, when I first got into college, I was like, you know what? I'm too old to be playing mobile games. I'm too old to be playing Clash Royale, Brawl Stars, Bloons TD6. And actually, one of my hallmates he loves these games. Like, he played them more than I did, and I didn't expect that at all. I thought we were way too old to be playing games like that. And so that's part of it, right? I was scared to show that part of me, and when both of us showed that part of each other, it actually built into something great. And he's now one of my best friends. I lived with him for a year. I'm gonna be hanging out with him, probably sometime this summer. I'm probably gonna be hanging out with him next semester after that, and he'll probably be a lifelong friend of mine. Go to my wedding, I'll go to his wedding, stuff like that. And so that kind of taught me that, I shouldn't be scared to be my inner child sometimes. And I can still enjoy, sports I played when I was a child, games I played when I was a child. I can still, doodle or whatever. I think once you lose that part of yourself, you lose your capability of meeting real people and meeting people for you. So then I guess overall, I just want to say, practice being your inner self around people that you don't really feel comfortable with doing that around. And everything may feel different at first, but later down the road, when you start building better connections with people that are better, equipped for you, you're gonna thank yourself, maybe a year down the road, 2 years, 10 years, whatever. Because you'll realize that, in being nonchalant, you're giving people only 10% of you, and so they can't really connect with you very well. But then, let's say you give 100 people that 10%, right? What if you flipped it? What if you gave 10 people your 100%? Then you've got 10 people that truly love you, instead of just 100 people that just like you. And I think that's part of feeling fulfilled in general, is finding that love just based on who you are, not based on, how many people are around you or how, the quantity, right? This is a really nice topic to talk about. I've tried some nonchalant shit myself. I know people that have tried it and are still doing it. So, I thought this was a good topic, and I hope to talk to you guys later, hopefully this weekend. See.